What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Red Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including: does WWE need CM Punk, as Eric Bischoff answers? More CM Punk teases on Raw. Are Drew's WWE days numbered? The Boogeyman returns. Is Declan McMahon coming to WWE? And much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. Now, as always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number one, a fantastic build-up for Crown Jewel. Now, if you watched Raw, it was hard not to want to see how things play out at Crown Jewel. The WWE provided matches and promos to get the fans excited about the show, which isn't always the case. Although the WWE's improved its go-home shows, Raw hit a grand slam last night, giving the fans plenty of reasons to tune into Crown Jewel this Saturday. And of course, we'll be recapping and analysing the show. Number 2, Night of Power Pack Promos. Last night's promos harken back to the days when wrestlers talked fans into buildings based off on wrestlers' gift of gab. Now, there were some intense promos last night, including Cody Rhodes eviscerating Damian Priest for being a follower. Rhodes boasted that Priest tried to injure him but failed, a reminder of how Cody is a survivor and that he stands for himself. Fans could almost see Priest's anger rising as the American Nightmare taunted him for riding on the coattails of Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and even worse, Dominic Mysterio. Raw boasted of several strong promos, including Rhea Ripley saying she would prove the odds makers wrong by emerging victorious against 4 competitors at Crown Jewel, and Drew McIntyre making his case for why he's so angry, apparently feeling he went unrecognized for carrying the WWE on his back during the pandemic. Number 3, Seth Rollins proves the naysayers wrong. As Seth freaking Rollins shut down his critics last night, Rollins dismissed McIntyre's complaints, pointing out how other wrestlers have endured adversity without whining about it. Seth played to his strengths as an anti-hero by noting he doesn't like Cody Rhodes, but he respects him for not complaining. Some Rollins critics dismiss him as a wrestler who jokes too much and can't figure out if he's a heel or a babyface. However, they're missing the point that Rollins uses humor to throw his opponents off guard, and that he's a world champion willing to take on any challenger, whether they're a face or a heel. Number 4, Creed Brothers impress. The Creed Brothers showed why they're considered one of NXT's hottest tag teams and why they're ready for a call-up to the main roster. Their match against Alpha Academy was exciting, and they quickly won over fans with their work. This team may be on the fast track to tag team gold. Number 5, Ricochet and Daddy Dom deliver. And although Ricochet seems to be falling back into the role of talented wrestler who makes others look good, fans have enjoyed the wild back and forth between Ricochet and Daddy Dom. While Ricochet shouldn't be competing for the North American Championship, taking the spotlight away from NXT wrestlers, last night's match showed why WWE should consider adding another secondary title to Raw and SmackDown. And Trick or Treat match was mindless fun. The Trick or Treat match between Natalya and Chelsea Green was the type of comedy match that's fun in limited doses. Its combined creepiness, such as Nikki Cross's head sticking through a table, with lightheartedness as Chelsea's tag team partner Piper Niven getting pasted in the face with a pie to take advantage of Halloween. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, just pull the trigger on Imperium's breakup. Imperium's breakup is taking way too long that it may overtake last year's Dexter Lumis Miz storyline for taking forever to wrap up, and fans know how poorly that turned out. Just go through with it and move on to whatever WWE has planned next for Gunther's henchmen. Number 2, why is The Miz turning babyface? And speaking of The Miz, why is the WWE turning the A-lister babyface? Last night's interaction between Gunther and The Miz made it clear Miz is headed for a turn. And this is a waste of time, as the WWE's track record booking Miz as a babyface is awful. The Miz is the type of wrestler fans want to see get punched in the face. He can lose match after match without losing his heat. That's not the case if he turns babyface, and the WWE has some major hurdles to jump if it's going to succeed in pushing The Miz as a babyface. There's nothing downright ugly, as Triple H still needs work on his time management skills if he wants to utilize his bloated roster, but last night's show worked at hyping Crown Jewel and entertaining the fans. What'd you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at, are Drew's days numbered? On top of today's news, hard times for the WWE if Drew McIntyre refuses to re-up with the company, as a recent report indicates McIntyre's current contract will be up before WrestleMania 40. According to a new report by Fightful Select, the Scottish Warrior has not signed a new deal with WWE. Fightful is also reporting that McIntyre's WWE deal will expire before WrestleMania, which means McIntyre may be gone before 2024's Showcase of the Immortals. Now, if you've been following our daily YouTube news videos, you know that WWE reportedly added time to McIntyre's contract due to time he was out of action due to an injury. Despite previous rumors that Drew was locked until WrestleMania 40, Fightful claims Drew McIntyre is the first major domino that could fall in the TKO era of re-signing major talent to WWE deals. McIntyre has less than 5 months left on his WWE deal, and it's actually up ahead of next year's WrestleMania. Although no one is irreplaceable in the WWE, and that applies to Roman Reigns too, Drew's absence will definitely be felt. McIntyre has developed into one of WWE's most capable performers. He also earned a reputation as a clutch player who's willing to wrestle whether he's sick with the flu or dealing with nagging or worse injuries. Next up, does WWE need CM Punk? Eric Bischoff is no stranger to criticizing Punk, and he recently talked up whether WWE needs Punk. Bischoff discussed this during his 83 Weeks podcast, and he addressed the biggest issue of whether WWE would bring in someone who's repeatedly trashed the company. I'm not 100% convinced he won't go to WWE because it's all about business, and WWE historically is willing to be on issues, personal or otherwise. Warrior comes to mind, a cat named Eric Bischoff comes to mind. There's been a whole bunch of us where nobody would have ever imagined that certain people would get back or get into a WWE ring ever again, only to be surprised. Bischoff is 110% right about WWE's willingness to do business with wrestlers who have burnt them in the past if the company feels that there's money to be made. At the same time, Bischoff questioned whether there's a role for Punk in WWE right now. I'm not saying 100% sure, but my gut tells me no, mostly because they don't need him. There's no holes. Where's the holes in the WWE roster right now? Where's the holes in the product? He pointed out how the WWE is selling out shows, raking in big bucks from merchandise and continuing to grow. Nonetheless, while the WWE might have all the talent they need to be willing to take a risk with Punk and bringing him with the hope that they can do even bigger business. Next up, Raw's many CM Punk teases. Whether or not Punk is returning to WWE, Raw's wrestlers certainly gave the WWE Universe reasons to think why he's coming back. Ringside News pointed out how Seth Rollins used Jack Perry's Crimea River line twice, a line which reportedly infuriated Punk at All In, possibly causing Punk's alleged backstage meltdown at AEW's London show. Shinsuke Nakamura's entire promo was essentially lyrics to cult personality. Even Becky Lynch made a reference to one of Punk's dialogues. Even on social media, USA Network even had a pop at it, saying, "I wonder who they're referring to." Next up, WWE Hall of Famer pushing for Nia Jax to win the women's title. It looks like Nia Jax has been a big supporter as two-time Hall of Famer Booker T recently made the case for a lengthy women's title reign for Nia Jax. He argued on his Hall of Fame podcast, "I said Nia should have a run with the belt a long time ago, way before she left the company and all that. But I also said if you can get the belt on Nia, who's going to beat her? Who's going to take it away from her?" He explained that booking Nia as a true monster heel would sell tickets, comparing her to another monster heel. That Nia Jax right there is the Nia Jax that will sell some tickets. We need a monster like Awesome Kong to come in and turn everything upside down. Do you think Nia Jax should be women's champion? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Michael Cole's on-air blunder. Did you know former WWE superstar Candice Michelle is back in WWE? Well, apparently Michael Cole did, as he called current superstar Candice LeRae Candice Michelle. While some fans missed the former GoDaddy spokesmodel, Michelle is not back. And next up, Declan McMahon, heir to the throne? A new generation of McMahons will soon be old enough to make their presence in the ring felt, and Shane McMahon's son Declan is ready to make the case why he's the best candidate to represent the McMahons in the ring. During a recent interview with Developmentally Speaking, he noted, "I know Aura, Paul's oldest daughter, Triple H's oldest daughter. She's always talked about wanting to do it, but I have in my dad and my grandpa's ego, I think I'd be best." What do you think, Woody? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, the Boogeyman Returns. And last but not least, WWE superstars were in for a surprise recently when the Boogeyman showed up backstage, scaring the daylights out of several superstars such as Grayson Waller, Michin, and Pretty Deadly. The clock-smashing and worm-eating superstar also found time to terrorize WWE personalities Kathy Kelly and Kayla Braxton. The creeptastic character even persuaded several superstars to try eat worms, pointing out the slimy creature's high-protein content. Wrestlers such as Shotzi, Grayson Waller, and Pretty Deadly's Elton Prince did their best to down the worms, with Shotzi faring the best, while Waller and Prince looked like they immediately regretted their decision. And there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, as well as our look at Raw. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.